first of all, could you tell us who you are?
Yeah, my name's Stephen Phillips.
Right, and you're involved in something called the Global Bicycle Race.
That's correct.
What is that exactly?
Well, the Global Bicycle Race is an 18,000 mile race around the world,
Wow.
and a combined world record attempt at circumnavigation of the globe by bicycle.
Oh, right, so there's potential to be in the Guinness Book of Records afterwards.
Absolutely, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So why are you doing the race? How did you get involved in it all?
Well, I've always been a keen cyclist. So I started, as a boy, I'd cycled from my home address to Manchester in a couple of days, 100 miles distance or whatever. And so I've always been on cycling, mountain biking, road racing and so forth. And then I met a guy called Mark Bowman, the original world record holder for the race, and started to follow him. And then as I followed him, got more and more involved into the whole cycling scene and the endurance racing thing. And the opportunity for the race came up, so I thought, I'm sort of getting towards that stage of life. Now's the time to start seeking adventure.
Fair enough. So are you doing the ride on your own?
I'm going to be doing it solo and unsupported, but the actual race itself will involve other competitors, and we're bound to meet up as we go around.
Oh, okay. So presumably there is a huge amount of training that you have to do for this. What sort of things have you been doing?
Yeah, well, if you think that I'm going to need to be averaging 130 miles a day on the cycle, it's that endurance training, it's the long distance riding. So for example, I'll do between 40 and 60 miles a day every day, and at a weekend I'll do sort of in excess of 60 miles a day.
Crikey. Okay. So it's a round the world trip. What countries will you be visiting or going through?
Well, I shall start off on Greenwich Median Line in London.
Of course, yes.
And I shall head south through France to Greece via Italy. And then I shall go into Turkey, into Georgia, the former Soviet state.
Oh, yeah.
And then from Georgia into India, Bangladesh.
Right.
And then Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore,
Right.
Australia, New Zealand, up to the US,
Right.
through the southern states of the US.
Right.
Before then flying across into Portugal, Spain, France, and then back home.
Good grief. So how many miles will that be in total?
Well, it needs to be a minimum of 18,000 miles actually on a cycle.
Ah, right. Okay. Is that the circumference of the Earth, as it were?
No, that's the requirement by the Guinness Book of Records.
Oh, I see. Okay. So do you have a timescale to complete the ride?
Yeah, the ride has got to be done before the commencement of the London 2012 Olympic Games. And this race is designed to be part of that build-up to the Olympic Games.
I see.
And of course you've got the additional world record attempt of 160 days, so anything less than 160 days is an absolute bonus.
Brilliant. But what happens if you get a puncture? I mean, can you carry loads of spares?
I mean, I have to be, on the whole, for the majority of the race, self-sufficient. So I'll be carrying sort of special tyres with the Kevlar armour on them. I'll be carrying inner tubes. And then what I shall do is I'll go around the world. I have contacts in various different nations, and I shall send parts ahead of me to pick up as I arrive those destinations.
Oh, I understand, yeah. So are there any rules that you have to follow when you're actually working your way through the race?
18,000 miles in one direction.
Right.
And I have to go through two opposite parts or opposite sides of the world. So in my case it would be Portugal and New Zealand.
Right, because they're
directly opposite each other.
Excellent. And now, so what kind of a bike have you got? Is it custom made? Is it something you've made yourself?
It's a restored 1992 steel Kona Lava Dome mountain bike, and it's just adapted for touring. So instead of having what we call a triple chainring on the front, it'll just be a single chainring on the front.
Right.
Internal geared hubs on the back wheel. So it's designed not to be affected by the weather conditions quite so much.
Oh, I see. That does make sense. So when does this adventure start?
18th of February 2012.
Right. Okie dokie. And what are you doing at the moment when you're not training?
At the moment, I'm a police sergeant for Cambridge Constabulary.
Right. Okie dokie. And will you be twittering or blogging or Facebooking as you're doing all this?
Yeah, I have an actual website.
Oh, brilliant.
And from my website, you'll be able to link on to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and contact me directly via email. And then as the time progresses, you'll also be able to see my route as I go around the world.
Oh, so you're videoing it?
Yes, there'll be uploads to YouTube.
Oh, excellent.
It's www.globecycleracer.com.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for your time.